much as he wanted to come up on the platform and talk about pardons and how it's not as hard as people may think to get a pardon. Welcome to Campfire Talk, the podcast. I am your host, the Skipper, which my guy gave me that name. I'm the Skipper, and he's not here today. He's on assignment. I'm gonna say that. He's on assignment. Today we have a special guest, someone that I've known 30 years maybe? Yeah, somewhere like that. A long time I've known this guy. And he's become something extraordinary, something that's like unbelievable in the community. Attorney at law, introduce yourself, my brother.
Hi, my name is Steve O'Mealy. Grew up in the north end of Hartford. Been my man here since Weaver High days. So
Right.
Been around for a while.
We're a long time. And today we're going to talk about pardons. Something came up on the table with a friend of mine that it just so happened to go visit you.
Yeah.
Shorty, come to visit you about pardon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's basically how we connected. And I wanted him, it's just as much as he wanted to come up on the platform and talk about pardons and how it's not as hard as people may think to get a pardon. Brother, elaborate on that.
Yeah, so, it's the myth in the urban community that you can't get a pardon. Rarely you'll meet somebody that actually got a pardon done, so you know how that goes.
Right.
So people will say, man, I know I can't get no pardon. But they're out there. You can get them done. You can do it yourself. You can have an attorney do it. I'm not the only attorney that do it.
Word.
You got plenty of other attorneys to go see and visit and have them do it. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather you come see me, yeah.
Indeed. And that's
But,
why you're here.
There's other attorneys out there that do them, and you could do them yourself. Some people don't have the time to go about and do all the tedious stuff themselves, so they hire an attorney like myself.
Right. And let's be clear, that's not all he do. Pardons.
I do other things.
Do other things too. All of this stuff that we may touch on today. But one of the things that my man Elefante, he wanted me to ask you, he was like, what's the difference between pardons and expunging a situation?
So pardon and expungement is the same thing, They just call it expungement, but the same thing as a pardon. They're going to erase your record. If you have a criminal record, they'll erase it. Expunge it, pardon you. The government gives you the pardon. The governor gives you the pardon. It's just all the same thing. They erase your criminal record.
Right. So during the process of pardons, we know that most times it's 99.9, maybe 100% chance that it's going to cost money. Is it going to break the bank of people?
Listen, I know attorneys that were they're breaking the bank.
Word.
I'm not going to tell you what I charge, but I'm affordable. I'm saying you want to invest in yourself.
Exactly, it's an investment.
It's an investment.
Yes, it's definitely an investment, especially.
And by me saying it's an investment, don't think that I'm saying, oh, it's that expensive. You come and talk to me, and we'll talk price.
Yeah, when you mean by investments, you're saying basically like that's something that you can like investing in yourself to do things to maneuver into the job force or the community, any type of community, credit, whatever. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you try to go get apartments in your name and that criminal background pops up and that destroys everything. You know what I mean? Like you can really look good going in suit and tie briefcase trying to get an apartment with a briefcase full of money. They may turn it down.
Background check.
You know what I'm saying? So
criminal record come out, especially if you got a drug conviction, they automatically slap you down.
Yeah. So what else you do besides that, my brother?
Besides pardons, I do real estate closings. If you're buying, selling a house, I do that for you. Personal injury, car accidents, slip and falls, dog bites, stuff of that nature. I do that. I do.
So tell me, what made you tap into this field?
What field? The law field?
The law field. I'm just saying, coming from where we come from.
That was my goal.
That's what I'm saying.
So, all right, little background. I used to run around out here. I used to mingle out in these neighborhoods and in the streets.
Word.
All right, I'm from the north end of Hartford. I'm off Albany Avenue. I'm from around here, so I used to mingle around.
Word.
But it was always my goal, you know what I'm saying? I always had a goal. It was always a bigger picture.
Right.
Even though I was running around out here.
Right.
It's always a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
That was the goal. I accomplished it. And,
Yeah, I mean that's a mean feat though.
so it could be done.
You know what I mean? Because I mean people would think that once they get caught up in the urban community, that they can't do nothing else but that. You know what I mean?
It's your mindset.
And there's a testimony right beside me to tell you that it's other things that you can do besides thinking about the streets. There's other avenues to gain money, to gain capital. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Like
The streets aren't forever.
it's not.
They don't last forever. You know, you got an expiration date on these streets.
Word. I mean,
You know.
and you're absolutely right. I mean, back in the days, it may have seemed like it would have been a decade you might last in the street, whatever. But nowadays, man, these dudes cutting numbers short, man. You know what I mean?
It's short.
Like, forget about the police. We talking about violence and, you know what I mean? Like, other things that come into the way to cut these streets short. So,
The violence is crazy now compared to back then.
word.
Dudes would fight back then before they shot or stabbed. You know what I'm saying? If it went there for a reason.
Word. And then 9 times out of 10, even dealing with back in the day, if it was a problem, 9 times out of 10, it was somebody that knew somebody that could have squashed it easy before it got out of pocket. You dig what I'm saying?
Nowadays, these dudes automatically say, I'm gonna kill you, man.
Wow.
They're not even talking to argue, they're just gonna kill you. So it's different from what I heard.
So, how long have you been practicing law?
I've been an attorney now for 12 years. I was in the city for a while.
Time has flew by.
Yeah.
Damn, 12 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
I mean, that lets you know, like what can be done. 12 years may seem like a long time, but when you look back at it, it just seems like, damn, that was just yesterday.
Yeah.
But that just shows you what you can do.
Yeah.
It all is all about time. And then we, you know, the focus is definitely for the older crowd, but most definitely for the younger crowd to be able to have an understanding of what you can do in a matter of time if you put your mind to it. You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's all about focus, man. And, you know, like, I commend this brother right here for doing what he do. Like, you know, it's amazing. It's other people that I know that's doing, like, law stuff, too. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's good.
But, you just 12 years.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
You know what I mean?
12 years now.
And humble. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not like you disconnect yourself from the world, but at the same time, you know, he can help. You know what I mean? So while you know you sitting there, you trying to go with certain people to represent you, is definitely one of the brothers here, and the younger brother that have understanding of what you may be going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my advice to you is to tap into, I mean, it's great to have old connections, but it's nice to have new connections too.
Especially someone that's coming back from
Where
you from, you know, I'm from right here, so
definitely like tune into that. So like, have you ever like dealt with any case that's like real strong, like something that was like major, or you just dealt with just like, I don't know what to say, normal cases or whatever, like?
No, I haven't done anything crazy. You talking like in criminal law?
Right.
No, like when I was in law school, I was in some federal cases with attorneys I was doing internships with.
Word.
They were like mob attorneys.
Word. Okay.
I've seen stuff like that.
So you have
So
you have an understanding of stuff like that. So that just goes to show you, you know, you done touched bases on different things. So don't be afraid to come and contact this brother, man.
If I can't help you, man, I'll know somebody that can.
Yeah, basically, in a nutshell. You know what I mean?
That's
So
all.
with that being said, also thinking about like when you know people, when you've been around people for a long time and you see people do positive things, great things, and be able to morph from one situation into a better situation is always gratifying. It always should be humbling. It should always be a wonderful like experience or gesture to give them their flowers. And man, I like to thank you, man, for just doing what you're doing right now. I mean, to me, like I said, this is wonderful. I mean, this is a beautiful thing, and I wish that a lot of us would have probably focused on doing things like this, things that that can better the community. You know, even though, you know, a lot of people might look at lawyers as sharks or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's just like any other thing. A steak may taste delicious, but it may not be good for the heart. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of things benefit, and you know, some things may not benefit. But for this situation right here, this is one of the ones that, man, I gotta give the roses to, man, straight up the flowers to. Like, I'm just really amazed by, you know what I mean, this feat right here. I can't even stress it enough, man. But
Appreciate it, love, brother.
you know, I mean, dive deeper into, like, you know, like,
So, yeah, we can talk more about the pardons. So,
Right.
With the pardons, there's ways to go about it right now. So, coming up, beginning of this 2023, there's a law passed where, you know, part of your record could be erased by the courts. So the courts are going to deal with this. So the law is that the courts have to come up with some automated system where you go on the system and put in your information and whatever records you have. So if you have a misdemeanor, and the misdemeanor, there's some misdemeanors that are not eligible for this thing.
and then please elaborate on that.
So sex crimes, any type of sex
Right.
crimes, as long as a misdemeanor. Domestic violence, any part of domestic violence, is not eligible. There's can't think of the other.
Arson.
No, I could look it up. It's right on my phone.
So how about just say if a person got
And
caught with
felonies.
a
Some
gun?
felonies are all right. So felonies, no class A, B, or C felonies
So
are
if a
eligible.
person got caught with a gun, they
DNC
can't get that erased?
D and C are eligible as long as you can't get more than 5 years. If your time is anything more than 5 years, you got to go through pardons.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But you're not
So
eligible
just
for
say
race.
we'll go with the gun situation. Just say you got caught with a gun. Just say back in the 90s.
All right.
And then we'll just say you got,
a year.
just say if you got probation or, you know what I mean, something like that. It wasn't like it was used in a violent act. It was just that you got caught with a pistol in your surroundings.
Yeah, you know, people get caught with a gun and they end up getting a year or whatever like that.
Right.
They work it out where it's only a year or a little bit over a year.
Okay.
That might be eligible.
Okay. Okay.
As long as it's not any crime where it'd be over 5 years,
Okay.
you won't be eligible. So misdemeanors, except for sex, child, and family violence, nothing like that. Any of those offenses not eligible. It has to be. And with this program, or with this thing the state is doing, it's 7 years after your last conviction. With a pardon, it's 5 years of your last felony.
Mhm.
And this is a misdemeanor talk about. It's 3 years for a misdemeanor with a pardon.
So explain to them when you say 7 years after the charge. Like,
So you get convicted. So your date when you go to court and they say, all right, pleading guilty or they're going to sentence you. That day, from that date going forward, that's the date they start from.
okay.
So that's your disposition date. So 7 years from that for this thing the state is doing. And that's for a misdemeanor. When, if you're doing a pardon, it's only 3 years from the date of your conviction.
Okay.
So with the pardon, the time frame is smaller. They go 3 years, for 3 years of your conviction.
Okay.
With the state thing, it'll be 7. So felonies, class A, B, C felonies not eligible. You gotta go through a pardon.
And that's basically what the law that's kicking in.
Yeah,
Not
that's the
just
law
the
that's
pardon.
kicking in.
So with the pardon,
So with the pardon, as long as you've been out, you've been from the date of your conviction, 5 years for felony, 3 years for misdemeanor. You can't be on probation, any type of supervision.
okay.
All right. No papers. You don't own any fines. So if you had fines, if it's part of your conviction, you had to pay fines.
Mhm.
Make sure those are paid.
Right.
If they're not, they're gonna do their own investigation. If it pops up, they'll kick your application back for the pardon.
Oh.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So that'll stop you.
So basically, with the pardon, just say with this new law that's kicking in, it might be great for a lot of people that's dealing
Yeah.
with light. You know what I mean? Something light. But
Something like
when it's something that's a little heavy, you more or less likely have to go through the
yeah,
pardon.
so you still got to
And
go
you're
through
gonna
the
have
pardon.
to kick out some dividends for that. But at the end of the day, it's more likely for you to be able to get a pardon with certain cases as the new law that's about to be in effect as of 2023.
Yeah, listen, you have a criminal conviction. You wanted a race, listen, try to get a pardon.
Right.
I would, you could wait on this new law kicking in 2023, but who knows? It's the government.
Right.
Who knows how long they're going to take to
Right.
actually
Like
implement this
implement
thing?
it. Right.
So it could take a year. It could take more than a year. It could be 2-3 years. Who knows?
Right.
It's on their timetable whenever they get to it.
Right.
At least with a pardon, you know, you put a pardon in. It's going to take anywhere from 2 to 6 months before you hear something back saying, all right, your pardon is in this stage. You got a hearing, or we're sent it to a pre-hearing, or something like that.
And explain to them about a pre-hearing.
So with the pre-hearing, they'll, after they get your application, they go through to make sure everything's in there. They'll send it on to a parole officer. Parole officer is going to do their background investigation to see if you have any open cases anywhere, any fines owed, or you owe any fines, or anything you have open. If you do, they'll kick it back, or they'll just deny you.
Okay.
If everything is good, they'll send it to a pre-hearing. They send it to a pre-hearing with the panel of the parole officers. They'll look at your case, look at your file, and determine if you're going to say no to this pardon. They can either deny it, send it forward on to a full hearing, or just grant you a pardon right there.
Okay. So
Most
how
times-
often do it go where they deny it?
It's up to the panel.
Okay.
There's no set number.
So with dealing with pardons, just say if a person, they have a case from 1998, and then they haven't been arrested. They went to jail. Just say 1998, they had a case. They went to jail for that case and was released 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Now they went out from 2010 to now currently, but in between that time, just say like 2015, 16, 17, they caught another case.
Felony?
Felony or something like that.
So
Like
they
how
have
would
to
that
wait.
affect the pardon?
They'd have to wait 5 years from that conviction in order to apply for pardon.
Okay.
Not last conviction. So it's 5 years from the last conviction for a felony, 3 years from the last conviction for a misdemeanor.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I would tell anybody, go and do a pardon. I mean, you can wait for the
Wait for
law
this
to
new
drop
law
or
to
whatever,
come.
but he said it, and this is a guy that's dealing with law. I mean, it would be better for you to deal. The process would be more faster
Yeah.
dealing with a pardon opposed to
I
waiting
think.
for that law, and then
Right.
that law, even though it might, you don't know if it's going to become retro. You don't know how they're going to deal with that.
So they'll go. So the law is going to start from crimes from 2000 and later.
Right.
You'll be eligible coming up to 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it goes back from 1999 back, you'd have to do a petition, fill out a petition.
So what is a petition?
So you're going to like file a motion with the court for to have your record erased, or have that particular crime that you're looking at to be erased.
You
off
know,
your
most
record.
people when they
That's
see it,
eligible.
when they think of petition, they're thinking about a lot of people signing the paper and bringing it.
That's what they call it, the court
package
document, yeah.
store, the package store on the side of the paper. Fred Drew, the
Yeah.
wino, all of these people, and then you present it
It's
to
not,
the lawyer.
not that type of petition. It's a
Okay.
petition, it's a court document. It's a form that you're going to fill out. Download off the court judicial website, fill it out, put your crimes on there, and present it.
So the crimes, again, crimes. What's the haves and the have-nots of the crime? Like, what can stop you, period, in your tracks from getting a pardon? What can stop it? Like, no matter how long you wait.
I haven't seen anything get stopped yet. I've seen people with bodies get pardoned, people
Wow.
with sex crimes get pardoned.
Wow, that's big.
You're on the registry, they will erase you off the registry to get
Really?
pardoned. Yeah.
Wow. See, the pardon it has benefits as long as you've been out of the way, doing what you're supposed to do, living a normal life, not doing sneaky things behind the closed doors. I mean, as long as you're doing the right thing, the right thing to do for me, in my mind, in my eyes, is to go and get a pardon. You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense to try to get a pardon. Like we said, I mean, It can help you in a lot of ways outside of just law. It can help you with businesses. It can help you, get apartments. It can help you with
Get a
your
better
credit.
job.
All of that help you get a
All
better
that.
job. All of that stuff. So, I mean, I would tell anyone, try to get a pardon.
Those convictions are handcuffs.
Word.
They're handcuffs on your life, man. They
Long
will slow
time.
you up.
And sometimes you have things that like you dragging with you it makes you or it keeps you your mindset mentally in that mindset to look the part. You know what I mean? Like we all the hip hop culture has taken a storm and it has everybody looking hip hop-ish or whatever, street, whatever. But with that records on, like people that carry records, sometimes you can tell, you know what I mean, like who got what type of record. You know what I mean? Look the part. So why not try to expunge or get yourself pardoned and then, you know, like change the whole mindset mentally as well as physically to do the right things. You dig what I'm saying? So that, to me, I mean, you know, that's a wonderful thing, man. And, you know, like what else? You know, like what else could like people expect as far as anything as far as the law, like what's going to change, and what's going to be better for people, or what's going to be worse that you know?
I don't even know right now. To tell you the truth, you know, it's just another toolbox, you know, to get your record cleaned up.
Right.
Law coming out, so
yeah. So that definitely will help people.
It's, you know, it could be done. Now everything, before back in the day, you got to do everything by paper, fill it out. Fill out this big thick packet and then mail it in. Everything's computerized now. You just do it online, get all the documents you need and press send.
That's it. And then that work from there. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you do what you're supposed to do properly and send it.
Yeah.
Well,
But a lot of time, yeah, people do it themselves, but I would recommend that you actually get an attorney. I mean, if you're willing to do the footwork, that's cool. But if you don't have that type of time to do the footwork and you can come up with the funds, without a doubt, go see him. Go see different attorneys, or mainly him.
Yeah.
Someone that knows what it is, somebody that seen it, been there, done that a few times or what have you, to be able to help you out, to get you out of situations. Experience is the best teacher, and I can't think of a better person to be able to teach you, to educate you on this than him. He's been there. I know for sure, for a fact. I've known him for a long time, like for sure. He definitely be a person that can help out. So, you know, reach out to him, like give him your information, like let them know how they can contact you.
I'm in downtown Hartford on 2 Congress Street, right across from Guilty Lounge, right there, Old Cloud, right across the street from there, 2 Congress. You can call at my office, 860-288-4707. Again,
they can reach you on like Facebook.
I'm on Facebook,
Instagram.
Steve O'Mealy, Instagram, The Real Big Steve.
Or all of that. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, y'all. Straight up. And this is, I mean, he don't even understand he don't even understand how I'm just happy to be able to have this conversation, because there's a lot of people, you know, asking me like, damn, what you gonna talk about? And you're actually the first interview.
What's up?
And I'm happy, and this is a milestone for Campfire Talk, to be able to have this guy here, and it's something that's really educational, something that could benefit you. That's not no street tales. It ain't about none of that. This is something that can help you to graduate, to gravitate towards better things, to do better things in your life.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And that's what, for us being older, should be doing, and it should trickle down to your children. Because we know we got a lot of kids, man, out here now that's in the streets wild and don't even know half the things. And look, the man, he's dead. So again, reach out to the brother, man, and see, you know, get some type of consultation. And even if you guys are, even if people are in the street, I would give you this. This is not coming from him, this is coming from me. Man, get you a lawyer on retainer, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, get you a lawyer. I mean, if you in the street, yeah, I mean, drop a few dollars on a lawyer. That's just in case. Again, you invested in yourself.
Yeah.
Not telling you to do no wrong, nothing wrong, not telling you to do no BS, but I'm just telling you, just get you a lawyer on retainer. The retainer, it is not always like when you're doing illegal things. No, this is for anything that you can do that's legal or positive. You already got the lawyer on retainer. You know what I'm saying? And then you can get some more bread, and then you can go full throttle with the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
that's all I gotta say though. If you serious about getting a pardon, if you still running around out here, don't do that to yourself.
Right.
Don't go get a pardon and then you still running around.
Brand new one.
And you brand new. You just reborn. Fresh. It's like being born. You ain't got no record, you got nothing, you clean. You go jam yourself up.
But
That's
say
what's
that again,
crazy.
please say that again.
Don't get a pardon. If you're serious about getting a pardon, don't be out here in the streets still, man. Be
Don't
done.
be in the streets
And try to get
if
a pardon.
you're trying to get a pardon. Go get the pardon. Now you fresh, brand new baby,
Brand new
smell
baby,
like
smile.
Similac,
Yeah.
and then go catch a crisp case. Now you gotta go
Now
ahead
you're
and
like
do that.
the clown.
Word,
It's not cool.
word.
I've seen somebody in court got a pardon, and he ended on some DUI. Like, you look crazy. You just got a fresh pardon.
And got a DUI.
Called a DUI.
Some people deal with that type of situation as a reboot. Some people really live
That's crazy.
to do stuff like that. It is.
I don't get it, man.
But that's
Brand
the
new.
cloth. Your cloth is different. Your cloth is
Come on,
different,
sir.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Your
Come on,
cloth
sir.
is different. You know what I'm saying? Egyptian cloth. You know what I mean? But
But if you're serious about a party, reach
Yeah.
out. Holler at me. We
Yes.
can talk, even if you don't want to get one.
again,
question
drop
about
drop your name and your information. one more
Steve
time.
O'Mealy, office number is 860-288-4707. I'm located at 2 Congress Street. Give me a holler, if
Yeah.
you see me around, you want to holler?
And then your email, Facebook, and all that again.
Email is Steve, Omeally@yahoo.com. Facebook is Steve O'Mealy on Facebook. The Real Big Steve, as some of y'all might know me as. I'm on Instagram with that.
Word.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, all the time we travel, we try to shoot for the universe and the galaxies. Most of y'all gonna shoot for the street lights because that's as far as you're gonna go. No disrespect, but your battery pack don't give you that much energy to go no further than that. You know what I mean? So maybe sometimes you need to reboot, need to regather, rethink the situation through so you can do better for yourself. And my man Elefante, he usually leave off with a thought for the day, so I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna freestyle it. I'm gonna say something to this effect. When it's nighttime and it's dark out there in them streets, you never know what's out there in them streets when it's dark. So stay out them streets when it's dark, man. Be outside when it's daytime. If you can't deal with the darkness, because a lot of people scared of the dark, so just stay out the dark if you can't handle the dark. Knowledge. Together, we put it together, that's peace. Peace.
And keep your head on swivel.